Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Cruise News and Views. I am your host, Tony, here to catch you up with everything going on in cruising. And, well, we've got some cruise ships that have some dilemmas. First, let's talk about the NCL Prima. She made a port stop the other day in Belgium, and she was all tied up. And then all of a sudden, she wasn't tied up. So let's check this video out. It's from Live at the Lake, their YouTube channel. They've got the Prima breaking free. I want to break free. Breaking free from the dock. So check this out. They were tied off. I'm not sure what's up with that line, but boom! Did you see that? That's crazy. So they lose a whole line. It snaps, and then as it continues to drift off, it just drags this gangway right into the drink. Look, it's got the tent. The tent breaks free too. Kakoosh. That's crazy. That's crazy. The gangway and almost the welcome tent dragged into the water. Fortunately, nobody was hurt. The ship was re-tied up. All's well that ends well, but it seems like some high winds got them, snapped the lines, and yeah, I've never seen that before. Gangway right into the drink. Now, like I said, that happened a few days ago, but something that happened more recently was the Scarlet Lady was making her approach to the dock in Miami. And, well, she got done caught up in high winds, and she smacked the pier. Here's a tweet that my friend Walter over at Where's Walter Travel put out showing some of the damage. They consulted with the local mechanics, and they're like, we can buff that right out. No, just kidding. Virgin Voyages repaired the damage. It did not delay its next cruise out. And again, in an official statement, it said they were victimized by unruly winds. Now, Carnival, not to be outdone by Norwegian Cruise Line and Virgin Voyages, they had a cruise ship calamity of their own. Our friends Sharon and Jamie from the Sharon at Sea YouTube channel are currently doing a cruise over there in Europe. They are on the Carnival Pride. And, well, yesterday the engine broke down on the Carnival Pride. They were out at sea, and now they're limping their way back to Kiel, where they will await to see if their cruise will continue. They got to get all the way back to Dover in the UK, but it's kind of up in the air right now, or stuck in the water, as it were, whether or not they will have to figure out a way to fly home from Kiel, or whether they will make it back to Dover, to those white cliffs of Dover. Look, the Carnival Pride is going to play a role in our story about the Bear All cruising, so they got to get that ship fixed, or there's going to be a lot of au naturel cruisers upset. In a somewhat related story, last year we got a new car, and about 3 months after we got a new car, there was a door ding. A tiny little door ding, about like that big. And it raises the question, you know, you have such a connection when you buy something new. Would you get the door ding fixed? The cost to get the door ding fixed was about $1,200. Spoiler, we got the door ding fixed just because it was annoying us. But when I think about getting the door ding fixed, I'm like, maybe I could have just learned to live with the door ding. I don't know. What would you do if your car was less than a year old and you got a door ding? Would you spend the $1,200 to fix the door ding, or would you just live with it? Carnival Cruise Line made an announcement yesterday that following the successful pilot program of new MDR menus on the Carnival Dream, well, they're going to roll out those new menus to all of the ships in the fleet. Now, starting yesterday, the Carnival Conquest got the new menus. Before the end of July, the Carnival Horizon will get the new menus. And then next month, 4 more Carnival ships, the Sunrise, the Vista, the Radiance, and the Mardi Gras, will all get the brand new menus. What's the big deal? Well, the big deal is things don't change that often, and the other big deal is since the last menu update, they've hired a new culinary expert to develop these menus. That is none other than famous celebrity chef Emeril Lagasse. He developed these menus, and they've got some new dishes like the roasted duck rolls, grilled swordfish, the Cornish game hen. They also have some Emeril specific stuff like crab and shrimp cake, the beef carpaccio, the coffee glazed roast duck. And then they're going to continue to have some Carnival classics like the escargot and the stuffed mushrooms, the chocolate melting cake, and the bitter and blanc. Sorry for the blad. There are 3 things that people love on Carnival that I do not like. I'll leave that video linked in the first comment. But yeah, do you know the 3 things I do not like about Carnival that most people just love? Well, one of them is that chocolate melting cake. Now, reactions to the new menu announcement have been mixed, with some people genuinely excited about the new menus and some people hating on all of the food before they even try it. I don't think I even need to say anything about it. Have you peeped the new menus? What do you think you'd like to try? Does it all look like trash? Leave a comment below. Our next cruise news story has to do with that super duper fast internet, Starlink. It's going on another flagship ship for another cruise line, this time Costa. Costa is putting this fast internet on the Costa Toscana. This is, of course, an Italian-based cruise line doing cruises over there in Europe, primarily in the Mediterranean. Look, don't get it twisted when it comes to Italy. Life over there isn't just leisurely gondolier rides and slow meals that take all afternoon to eat. The Italians need fast internet too. And well, fortunately for cruisers on Costa, Starlink is coming your way. I'm excited. Oddly enough, we looked at some Costa Cruises yesterday, and so this is maybe an affirmation. Maybe opening up the old browser this morning and seeing the story is a big sign from above that we should book that Costa cruise that we were looking at. Could it be? Could it just be coincidence? I don't know. I do want to tell you about some interesting rules for the Bear All cruise coming up on Carnival. But first, let me invite you to subscribe to Cruise News and Views. We are sure glad to have you here watching this video, and we would love for you to be part of the Cruise News and Views family. We are working our way up to 10,000 subscribers, and we're getting close. We're only a couple thousand away. You can be a part of that 10,000 number by hitting the subscribe button, and that way you won't miss out on anything that's going on in cruising. Thank you in advance. Okay. So there is a company out there that for 30 years have been organizing clothing optional cruises. The company is called Bare Necessities, and the 2024 Bare Necessities cruise has been announced. It will be on the Carnival Pride. So they've chartered out the Carnival Pride, and they will be hosting a clothing optional cruise. And well, the reason I mention this story is because I've talked about these kind of cruises in the past, and the most common comment that I get is, I certainly would not want to cruise on a cruise ship that just hosted this type of cruise. I don't want to use the furniture that, Bear It All people have used. And like the good researcher that I am, I went over to the Bare Necessities website just to see if there were pictures. I'm kidding. I didn't go just to see if there were pictures. There were pictures. I wasn't expecting that. I did go to the Bare Necessities website to see what the rules were, for clothing optional cruising. Here's the 7 rules that they have, and one of them deals specifically with the junk, with the parts, if you know what I'm saying. And it does kind of, hopefully, it will settle this issue of whether or not it's appropriate to cruise on the very next cruise after this cruise goes. First, all passengers must be dressed anytime the ship is in port or the captain announces that clothing is required. Announcements will only be made when the ship is entering a port. All passengers must be dressed for meals in the dining room and if they choose to attend the captain's cocktail party. Number 3, lingerie is not considered appropriate dining room attire. And then other stuff. Read that if you want. I'm afraid if I read it out loud that it might not be good for the video. Number 4, please do not sit au naturel on ship's furnishing. Towels will be provided throughout the ship. There it is. Part of the rules of this charter cruise is that anytime you're going to set yourself down, you cannot sit directly on the furnishings. There has to be a towel between you and the furnishings, so no direct contact between the people parts and the ship parts. Them's the rules. I said on the La Lita Loca live show last night that I don't understand the appeal of it. I did read on the website some of the kind of the higher ideas of it, that if you do bear it all, then you've also stripped away maybe some layers of your ego. You've stripped away some layers that would be indicative of your, where you're at in the socio-economic stratosphere, all that kind of stuff. Some pretty lofty ideas, but I would be interested to hear if you're part of this, bear it all kind of philosophy. Why do you do it? Thank you so much for checking out the show today. I sure hope you enjoyed it. You can show your support for the show by hitting the like button. And unfortunately, if you do not hit the like button, I will be forced to punish you. And your punishment will be this. You will go over to the Bare Necessities website. And as you're looking at the cover photos, you'll realize that your grandma liked to bear it all. And I don't think anybody wants that. So, yeah, hit the like button so you don't see Granny au naturel. This is Tony for La Lido Loca. Until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido. Bye.